Hey everybody! Today's video is on how I color and cut my extensions. I go through the process of how I color them, and at the end I show you how I cut them. I actually did cut them before I colored them, but I figured most people probably want to see how to color them more than anything, so I'm going to put that first. So if you want to see how I go from this to this, then please just keep watching. So I'm going to color them. So what you need is your hair extensions, a color bowl. Mine is really gross, so sorry about that. You also need a brush and the color that is your hair. I'm using Joico, and this one is 4RV. It's just like a medium dark red violet. Then this one is 6N, which is light brown. So I'm going to mix 1 ounce of each, and then for this line I'm going to be using a 10 by Me Developer. That is just a deposit only, so it's not going to lift the color. So I'm going to do 1 ounce of the 4RV. Sorry, that's my dog. She just keeps scratching. And then this is the 6N, so I'm going to 1 ounce of this. And I think actually what I'm going to do is just do a little bit over 1 ounce, like about 1 1/4, 1 1/2, just because my hair is starting to fade, like the red is starting to fade a little bit, so I don't want the extension to become too red. I'm just going to eyeball this. If you don't really know how to eyeball it, I would definitely take a measuring cup and do it. But there's that, and then you just want to mix up your color. If you are mixing two colors like I am, you do want to be very careful and make sure that you mix it really well. Now what you want to do is make sure you have your trash bag or foil or whatever laid out. You want to put the extension in front of you. Like I said, I'm not sure, or like I will say, you'll see in when I'm cutting it, I'm not sure if I'm going to use them all, but I want to make sure that I color them all just in case. So what I like to do is start at the very bottom, since that is where most people are going to see it. And then you can just work your way up. Then you want to carefully flip it over and do the same thing to the other side. So start at the bottom and then just work your way up. And I'm going to flip it over one more time. And I also forgot, you should probably wear gloves, but I'm not too worried about it. Okay, and then you just kind of want to set that to the side, and then do the same for all of the extensions. And I always like to start on the very front part of the extension, the part that people see, and then that's why I flip it over, and then I flip it over again to the front and then do it again, just because that is where people are mostly going to see. You can also do horizontal motions like this, just to make sure there are no dry spots. Make sure you lay them out nice and flat. Don't overlap the extensions over one another. And now they are all done, and they're already starting to process, and you want to make sure you read your instructions because every color is different. These have to stay on for 30 to 35 minutes, so I'm going to let that sit, and then I will show you how I wash them. So it's now time to start washing them, and you want to try to wash them in the order that you colored them. I'm going to get my water just lukewarm, and the shampoo and conditioner I'm using is by Bedhead, and it is the Resurrection Urban Antidotes, and this is the level 3. It's the most damaging level, so I have this, and I also have the conditioner to go along with it, and it is my everyday conditioner, so that is why I want to use it on the extensions. Here's the extension. You just want to get it wet, and what I like to do is just kind of run my fingers down the length of the hair. You want to make sure most of the color, or all of the color, is out before you start to shampoo and condition them. The water is starting to run pretty clear, so I'm going to take a little bit of shampoo in my hand. Just that much right there. And then just run the extension right along my hand, just like that. And I do like little squeezing motions when I do this, and then you can kind of comb it through, but be very careful. And then you want to start rinsing it. You can see even more color come out once you do add the shampoo. Then I add a little bit of conditioner in my hand, probably about the same amount as the shampoo or close to it. I like to start kind of at the bottom and then work my way up. And then kind of comb it through with my fingers, just make sure there aren't any tangles. And go ahead and rinse. And then you just put that to the side and then continue to do it with all of your extensions. I have the extensions right here in this towel, so what I'm going to do is just unravel it on my lap, which you won't be able to see, but I'm going to just pat them dry, each individual one. And then as I go, I'm going to just take my wide tooth comb and then gently comb through them. After I'm done combing through them, I'm going to take my Moroccan oil and just put a very, very, very small amount in my hand. Like probably about like a pea size amount. I'm not sure if you can even see that. But just going to like pat it in just like that. And then just lay it to the side and then do the same for all of them. And I normally would just let them air dry, but it's already a little after 3:30 and they take a few hours to air dry. So what I'm going to do is just blow dry them. I'm going to use a heat protectant. I'm just going to use my Kenra Platinum Blow Dry Spray, and then I'm going to flat iron them just so they match my hair, and then I'm going to put them in and then I will be right back. So the extensions are a little bit darker than my natural hair, which I knew was going to happen just because my hair was quite blonde before, and if you know anything about hair color, Bailey, and if you know anything about, hey, stop. And if you know anything about hair color, you probably know that when you go blonde, it's very hard to go back to a darker color. So next time I color my actual hair, it will blend much better. Sorry, my dog is in here and she keeps getting into everything, but I want to finish this video. What was I saying? I can't remember what I was saying. I think I was talking about going from blonde to darker. When I do color my own hair next time, it will probably stay a whole lot better and it will match a lot better, because you can see my natural hair is a little bit lighter, and I did curl just a little bit just to give it a little bit of something. I don't think extensions look all that great when they're straight on me. I also left out the 3-clipped weft because it just felt like way too much hair, and that was also in the back, and I normally separate my hair like there's nothing in the back. As you can see, like all the hair is forward. So when I had that piece in, it just felt so heavy, and my natural hair is really fine and not quite thin, but I don't have a lot of it. So this is what I have, and I'm sure you can see in the camera how my natural hair is lighter, but when you curl it normally doesn't matter too much. But I'm probably going to be coloring my hair within a few weeks, and then I will be doing more tutorials wearing these. So these are the extensions that I have. I just got them from Sally's, and I believe that they are Satin Strand brand. Either Satin Strands or Sassy, I can't remember which one. They are the ones that do not come with the clips, so I just sewed on my own clips. So you can buy them separate, and then that is how I did it. And when you do buy extensions, they're all one length. That's why it says like 18 inches, 20 inches, whatever length that they are. That means that they are all one length. And I think mine were 18 inches, and I did end up cutting them. I haven't worn them in like a year almost, or it'd be like a year around Christmas time. So what I'm going to do is cut them to be about right here. So just adding about 6 inches onto my length that I already have. So the easiest way to do this, I found, when you are cutting them, just want to brush right through them, making sure there are no tangles, just like that. Then you want to clip up the section of your hair where you would start your extensions, where you would first put that first clip. So we're just clipping that up. And then I'm going to put my first extension in my hair. Okay, and then just bring that forward. And they don't match my hair because I haven't colored them yet, but what I would want to do is gently, like I hold this pretty tight, comb through it again. So I have it split in two, and since they are all going to be the same length, I'm just going to cut this strip and then cut the other ones right along with it, not on my head, if that makes any sense. So what I'm going to do is take my cutting comb and then my scissors, and these are hair cutting scissors, and I have my trash right here. And I would rather cut them a little longer than I want them to begin with, just in case I do want to keep more length than what I'm thinking. I think I'm going to cut them right about here. That's where I want them, so I'm going to go a little lower than that. Making sure that I get it into the trash for the most part. And there we go, there's the first cut. And they're not going to be perfect right now, but I think that is about where I want them. I'm not quite sure. I don't want them too long, but I don't want them too short either because I do eventually want to curl them. I think I'm just going to leave it there for now, so then I'm just going to meet them in the middle like this, and then cut the other side. And they are not going to be perfect just because I do have to take them off and recut them, but this is about the length I want, so then I'm going to take it out. Now what I'm going to do is fold this in half, just like that, and then take my comb and comb it through. And then I'm probably going to do this on a flat surface, but you can see that they are not completely even there, so I'm going to make them even. So I'm going to lay them flat like this, making sure they're even at the top. Comb through like that, keeping my comb as straight as possible, and then cutting off to make sure that it is even. I'm also going to just use my finger and I probably should have done this to begin with, but I'm just going to run a flat iron through them. And then you can see, like right here, it's a little bit longer, so I'm just going to snip that off. And I don't want it to be too blunt, so what I'm going to do is just point cut it. So it's nice and even, but not too blunt at the ends, because my hair is pretty fine, so it's not thick at all. So if it was to be a super blunt line, it would look super fake, especially since I do have really short hair. So now what I'm going to do is just go ahead and flat iron all of the hair and then lay it down flat and then cut them the same length as this. So just lay this down, put the other extensions underneath of it, like one at a time, and then just cutting the same way that I did this. And a quick trick I forgot to mention was open up the clips of the one that you cut, and then take the one that you are going to be cutting, and on the front side, take the open clip and clip it at the very top, like that, so you can see that there's two wefts there, and then do that on both sides, making sure that they are nice and even. So just like that, you can see there's two wefts, and then that way they will be even, so you will be able to cut them a lot more accurately. So I did want to mention that just to make it a lot more easy. So I'm going to cut them and then I will be right back. So I have them all cut and here they are. I know once that I actually do put them in, I'm going to want to do a little bit more texturizing because they are super thick feeling, but I'm going to put them in really quick. Keep in mind that they are not colored yet, so they might not blend perfectly, but I'm going to put them in and show you guys what they look like. That just got you kind of started into what you need to do. I decided once I got them in that I am going to cut like all of this off right here to make it straight across when I am wearing them. So I'm going to do that on both sides, take about that much off, and then once that is done, I'm going to texturize them. What I'm going to do is just show you how I'm doing it. I'm not really going to explain. I'm just kind of going to fast forward through this part, but you will be able to see how I am doing it. So I'm going to put my glasses on so I can see better since the mirror is pretty far that way, and then I'm just going to speed you guys up so it's not so boring. The hair color obviously still does not match, but you saw in the sped up part that I did a lot of slide cutting, which if you don't know what that is just when I took the chunk of hair and you saw me just kind of go down the scissors like that, and that's just to blend in my very short layers because obviously I want it to look as natural as possible. And also as you go, you want to make sure that the clips are still in place. So as I went, if I kept just kind of feeling, and if I felt any that were out of place, I just kind of re-clipped them. When I do color them, I'm going to see how they are. I might not even wear all of them because it still feels super thick for what I'm used to because I want it to look as natural as possible. But this is what it looks like for right now. I did a few face framing pieces around the front there, as you can probably see some of those layers, just to blend in with my shorter pieces like right here. So that is how I trim them. Like I said, I might do a little bit more once they're colored, but this is good for now. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask as usual. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos. I always appreciate it. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!